Hey Jesus Freaks, what's going on? It's Gaming for God coming at you with a brand new series that we're calling My Content Creator Journey. As many of you are aware, I just completed my very first week being a full-time content creator here on YouTube and also live streaming on Twitch for 40 hours in a week. As many of you are also aware, content creation is becoming more and more popular, but there was one thing that I was realizing a lot of the larger streamers haven't really done. When you take a look at people like Tim the Tatman, Cypher PK, Ninja even, these three individuals you really don't know much about. You just know that they're very popular now because of Fortnite. Or at least, that's what you would think. But when you actually start digging in and finding out information about these three individuals, they all started somewhere just like the rest of us, at 0 viewers. My hope in this series is to bring another level of transparency to what content creation looks like. I'm going to be giving you statistics as well as reasons why maybe a stream didn't go as well on Twitch, or maybe why one went very, very well on Twitch. We'll also be breaking down our YouTube videos, why one got more views in a week than the other, and why one got the least views out of all of the videos, and we'll talk about these things right now. For those of you that don't know already, I am much more entertaining live. I'm just not really that much of a video person. The reason that I make YouTube content is to diversify. It's one thing that many people agree is going to allow Twitch streamers to grow the quickest. I don't only diversify here on YouTube, I also put myself out on social media, as the links are always in the descriptions of the videos if you would like to see the content that I place out on social media. When we do these videos, I'd like to go ahead and start out with my Twitch streams, and you'll kind of start to understand the format, and you'll also get a couple of graphics that are literally from the Twitch analytics page that I looked at in order to provide you this information. One big thing for me is I always like to start on a positive note, so the first thing we're going to look at with the Twitch is biggest stream of the week. The first thing I want to mention to you is it took place January 2nd. It was my morning stream, the very first day that I went live as a full-time content creator. The stream started at 8 a.m. my time, which is Mountain Standard, and went until 12 p.m. that same day. There's a lot of important things to consider about what makes a stream successful as a small streamer and what makes a stream not successful as a small streamer. One of the very important things you've got to look at is, what were you streaming? Were you streaming Fortnite? Were you streaming PUBG? Blackout from Black Ops 4? What were you streaming? And honestly, I'm still exploring the niches that I can get into, but Fortnite, PUBG, Blackout, as we'll see later on, are definitely not helpful. What I was streaming on Wednesday morning was a game called 7 Days to Die. And honestly, I had a lot of people that came into the chat going, wait, do you have 7 days to die or you lose? No. I encourage you to look up the game. This is not a hashtag ad. It's still in its, I believe, alpha stage, and it's absolutely incredible. I've chosen to play this game because it's not highly saturated. While the category doesn't typically get above 2,000 or 3,000 total viewers amongst anywhere between 50 to 150 live channels, I have noticed substantial amounts of growth during those times. So while the category is not everything, it is certainly very important, because you have to understand that Twitch's algorithm is sorted so that the people that have the most viewers are at the top and the people with the least viewers are at the bottom. And as a small streamer trying to grow, if you only have 7 or 8 viewers and you're at the bottom of the Fortnite list, that's why you're not getting discovered. Those 7 or 8 people that are constantly watching you are going to watch you regardless if you play Fortnite, 7 Days to Die, Minecraft, or even Terraria, because they've already decided they like you. They're there for you. They aren't in it for the category that you're in. Of course, there's going to be exceptions to this rule, but for the most part, that rule applies. The reason I streamed 7 Days to Die is it gives me the ability to interact with my chat, which is very important to me as the content creator type that I've chosen, which is entertainment value. And it's also really just a lot of fun. I really enjoy the game, and it does bring in new people literally every day that I stream it. I at least see 1 or 2 people in the chat that I have never seen before. My average viewership throughout the entire stream was 19 viewers, which is one of my records so far. Especially considering I had no large hosts or raids. I had a couple of hosts and a couple of raids. By the way, I'm very grateful for those, but they weren't over 10 viewers. They weren't over 20 viewers. it was just enough to kind of keep that number a little bit higher. Now, the next thing I'm going to move to is the smallest stream of the week, and I gotta be honest, when I looked at this one, I really wasn't that surprised. My smallest stream of the week was January 4th, which is a Friday, and I was talking about the evening stream. This takes place from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And if you're like me, you are probably sitting there wondering, why in the world would your viewership be low on a Friday night? Well, you know what? I'm really not that surprised. The reason that I was so low in viewership, and I'll get to the number in a moment, was because I was streaming Fortnite. The numbers prove themselves. I did not change categories, but at the very beginning I had just chatting, which is very normal. I do a just chatting stream for about 20 to 30 minutes while I interact with my viewers that show up at the beginning, because those folks are taking time out of their day, just like the rest of you, but right at the beginning, there's so much hype that gets built up, and those folks are extremely helpful, and I want to make sure that I take that time to thank them, interact with them, and give them that little bit of special feeling that's, wow, this guy really does care, and I want you to know that I really do. The average viewership that I held for that same 4-hour stream was 7.1, less than half of the record high for that week. Now, granted, the other part of it is I really don't enjoy streaming Fortnite. I had initially promised that I would stream Friday night Fortnite because that was what everybody was asking in my community, and honestly, I regret it. I do not like streaming Fortnite. A small side note about Fortnite, the biggest reason I'm not a big fan, I don't mind losing a game. That's just the reality. You're gonna lose games, especially in battle royales. What I have a problem with is I have never played a shooter that you use any kind of a shotgun and do less damage with a shotgun than you do with a AR headshot. And because of the recent update with the shotguns where there is a ton of RNG, where you can hit for 70 damage all the way up to 190 depending on what shotgun you have, I have simply lost interest. And it was obvious, so it wasn't just the category, but then when people, let's say that someone had discovered me during that time, I was not at my best. I was simply not as excited as I would have been if they had shown up and I was playing Minecraft even. I was just not that excited. The viewer average for the entire week was 11, and I really think that would have been higher had I not streamed Fortnite, but it also could have been a lot lower had I not streamed 7 Days to Die. But I also want to mention, I really believe that the biggest reason I had that much viewership Wednesday morning was not because it was a Wednesday morning or that I was streaming 7 Days to Die specifically. I truly believe the biggest portion of that was that there was so much hype built around the fact that it was my very first stream on Twitch as a full-time content creator that it just exploded, which is something else I want to mention very briefly. When you are doing something that you have not done before on stream and you know you're doing it, build hype up around it. A lot of you that are watching this video right now are wondering how to grow on Twitch. That's the reality. Or you're wondering how I'm growing on Twitch, one way or the other. And by the way, this does not mean that you should just put the word hype in everything. I'm just gonna throw it out there. This is not dogging on any particular streamers, but there is a lot of going live notifications that I get on Twitch from Twitch streamers that I follow who are absolutely incredible, who just use the word hype for everything. It's a buzzword. Don't just say hype, create hype. They're completely different concepts. The other two statistics that I'll briefly mention is that my sub count at the end of the week ended at 40. And when I consider that by the end of last week, I had a roughly 430 followers, that's 10% of my followers are subs, which is crazy incredible. We also increased in followers 30 that week. That was the total. We went from 400 to 430 within a week. And I want you to keep in mind, for those of you that may be streaming Fortnite, look over your weeks. If you are below 500 followers right now and streaming Fortnite, consider the fact that maybe diversifying what you stream may help you increase your statistics. And now we're going to move on to our YouTube analytics for the week, same exact week from December 30th to January 5th. Now, obviously, YouTube's going to be a little bit different in how we break it down, but we're going to do something very similar. We're going to look at the most popular video during that week. We're also going to look at the least popular video during that week. Keep in mind, we will also do a general stats overview towards the end, but I want to mention as well, this is very important. This is the very first video I've made, and this is based on a one video week. As a matter of fact, I didn't even make a video that week, but I'm going to be honest with you, I still wanted to show you a little bit of the YouTube side of the analytics. My most popular video of last week, as far as views were considered, was my 7th video log. This talked about the huge announcement, again building up hype, and the fact that I have probably one of the coolest dads that I could have ever asked for. The average watch time was 13 minutes, which means that they were watching pretty much the entire video. I had 5 views on that video just last week, which is pretty cool considering I really didn't share much about it on social media or anything like that. It gained those views without me really doing much. But I want to ask myself this question, and it is challenging. Why did that video get the most views during that week? Well, I think it was for a couple of reasons. The one thing that I did do is while I was live on Twitch all of last week, I occasionally mentioned my YouTube channel because I knew that I was going to be doing this week ahead of time, again, building up the hype. My video log dropped earlier this week on Monday. It's going to be an awesome one to review for stats on next week's video. With that said, I imagine those 5 views came from me plugging it on Twitch, which is very important. If you're going to become a content creator, make sure you are plugging not just your Twitch on your YouTube channel while I make YouTube videos, but also it's important that you're doing it the other way around so the audiences are feeding into each other. My least popular video last week was actually a top 5 clip compilation. I posted that video July 5th of last year, so it's definitely been a couple of months, but it was still viewed during last week, which does say something. It was called Multi-Dave, and by the way, whenever I mention specific videos, I will be sure to link them in the description of our top video for views and our lowest video for views. It's a 2.5-minute video, but for some reason it was only viewed for a minute by the one viewer last week. So I had to ask myself the question of why. Well, the simple answer is I was not making YouTube videos at that point. I was simply taking the top 5 clips from my Twitch channel and putting them all in a video together. At that time, I was not taking any time out of my day to do any sort of professional editing of any caliber at all. I was using Windows Movie Maker, which if any of you know what that is, I'm really sorry. But top 5 clip compilations are not necessarily a bad thing. Some people may disagree with me, and of course you're welcome to your opinion. That's totally fine. My opinion is very firm in the respect that when I'm trying to get my YouTube audience to go to Twitch, they should be able to see what I do on Twitch without leaving the YouTube platform. I'm gonna be honest, I know for a fact that I am inherently lazy. When I go to check somebody's YouTube content out, if they plug their Twitch and they aren't putting any of their Twitch content in their videos at all, I am way less inclined to go look at their Twitch. On the other hand, I found Cypher PK through his YouTube Fortnite How to Win series, and that literally was recorded live on his streams. So I went, oh wow, this guy's actually very, very awesome. He does this while he's live. I've got to check this guy out. I literally, after the first video, I went and followed him because I wanted to watch his content as much as possible. And I really don't imagine that many of you see it differently. Our generic statistics update for that week is very simple. It simply is going to discuss where traffic came from. 55% of last week's traffic came from my subscribers specifically, which is crazy. I am extremely encouraged by that. That is what is the ideal spot to be. Above half of your viewership should be coming from your subscribers because they clicked the subscribe button, clicked the notification bell, and then came back and watched your video because they truly thought that your videos were worth watching. 21% of traffic came from what is called browse features. This is things like when people are going through YouTube and you know how you have the autoplay up in the upper right of a video frame. It is basically that kind of thing where you're looking on that right panel and there's just, hey, something you may enjoy, right? That's how YouTube's algorithm works. 21% of last week's viewership came from that, which again is extremely encouraging to me because that means brand new people showed up and enjoyed the content. I hope this kind of thing is super insightful for you and helps you understand a little bit more. If there's something that you would like to see me add to these videos, be sure to drop a comment and let me know. I do my best to reply to all of my comments. I'm gonna be honest, I'm pretty bad at it, but I'm getting better. I would always love to see you join me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat. And I would also strongly encourage you to join the Discord server that I'm a part of. The team that I stream with with is called God Mode Activated. Their Discord link is also going to be included in this video's description. I am also live on Twitch, shocker, I know, for 40 hours a week, so be sure to head over to twitch.tv/gaming4god. Click that follow button while you're there, and you know what? If you have that Twitch Prime subscription available, don't hesitate to drop that on me. I am always grateful for the Twitch Prime subs, the regular subs as well. You guys are absolutely amazing. And of course, as always, make sure you smash that like button if you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching this week's episode of my content creator journey. This is Gaming for God, signing off.